8 to 10.
All right.
All
What's
right.
up, everybody? This is episode 8 of our
8.
documentary. It doesn't have
8.
enough fingers and it's telling me he wants it under 10 minutes. All right. So basically, the episode is going to be all about promotion that we've been doing for the project so far. So I think we should start this episode off by letting you know everything that has not worked up until this point. And I don't want to like drag people through the mud, but the influencer aspect of the NFT market is probably my least favorite part of a business I've ever been included in. So first things first, if you are starting an NFT, which is, you know, this is somewhat educational and like learn from our mistakes, people are going to overpromise and underdeliver, which is the opposite of what you want. So you really want to stay away from people who will promise you shills, I'll get you this many people for this much money. It sucks. People will say, I'll do Reddit posts, and they don't work. People will say, I'm going to be active and do
Promote
a post.
Your project for a month,
yeah, and then they do one thing and they screw off somewhere and take your money. So you really want to be aware of all the pitfalls, and I think we can just speak to our own personal experience. We just ran our numbers, and it looks like we've spent no money on trying to advertise our project, but that's not true. I'd say we probably put about $1,000 into
pin posts, things like that.
Various things, tweets, retweets, pin posts, videos on YouTube, you know, people saying, like, okay, well, we're going to do this for you and not doing it. Or then you reach back out and say, hey, listen, that didn't really work as I had hoped. Can you? And then they just ghost you. Nobody cares. They take the money and run. So Mike and I then had to really strategize what we could do. And we came up with the collaboration idea. So we learned a lot from our mistakes, and then we grew from that, and now we have a strategy that has been working really wonderfully, and I'll let Mike touch on what it is.
Yeah, and before we touch on it, like, just Chris is saying, like, it is really like Slimeball City. Like, it's like you just, I always joke about the DM for promo. Like, on Instagram, that's the response to every picture you post. If you're doing an NFT project, DM me for promo, DM me to promote it. Or if you put something, oh man, I got my first retweet on Twitter and I get really excited and I click on it. And it was a retweet that says, hey, go promote it on this, right? And it's basically promote, hey, I'll shoot out a tweet. You know, I'll tell one strategy I've used in the beginning. I was telling Chris, like, this is what I look for. You know, some people advertise organic growth, so, you know, real followers. Some people don't at all, so that's not great. But, you know, go look at a pinned tweet and go look at all the comments underneath. You know, follow on Twitter, tag 3 friends, and do this, and you'll get a giveaway, right? You know, you see a lot of things that look like just bots. Like, click on some of the responses. Guess what? They just joined that month, that week, right? Because they just created an account to get giveaways. So, you know, when you're getting responses like that, you're not going to get the people to your project, to your Discord, that actually care about your project, that care about NFTs. So that was like something we started looking at, like, well, okay, we're going to pay someone. Is it worth it? And, you know, and then so we'll go into the collab thing. So I had been following a project. You guys saw one of the collabs by now, hopefully, and if you haven't, check it out, with Bad Baby Dinos. I just love the project. I thought it was a great project. I thought the person running the project was fantastic. They had, you know, super hyped up community, like really like tight knit, trivias, giveaways. You know, they had a pretty decent giveaway budget, it seems.
Dino snack jar.
Dino snack jar. Yeah, I mean, they're just, you know, very creative. And I had always said, I was like, you know, my vision is, hey, we honor these folks, but make this collaboration special token. You know, hey, you're part of this blockchain of fame. And yes, is it for promo? It's for promo, right? But it's also because the project, we would want to honor that project, right? You know, they deserve a spot, right, in our minds. So we thought about that. You know, Chris is like, good idea. And, you know, I kudos to the person who runs the project, because they gave us a chance, you know, to say, hey, why don't you do that? And I showed them what it looked like. We had our artists work on the first one, and they were like, this is really good. And at the same time, we were working on a second one. It was Toast Punks. Those were our first, like, 2 big ones that we were excited about. A smaller project, only 1,000, I think, images or you know, NFTs, but also super helpful person in that project who runs it. and I think he was out of Australia. And so we were like, let's do this. Let's see. And all of a sudden, we dropped that and we were like, let's see how this works. And the response was great because it wasn't just like, hey, that looks really cool. I mean, the response and the art was awesome, but it led to a lot the community members coming to our Discord, coming to our project and saying, oh, that's really cool. That's a good concept. Tell me more about your concept. What's all this about? Like, well, if you're a fan of this project, we're a fan of you because like you guys are honoring really good projects, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's really where it started, right? Like, and like, I think like, you know, and that's when Chris, who is the pushy one of the project, which you all know at this point, was like, we need to do, you know,
100
collabs. Like, just to find 1 million, Mike, you know? And I'm like, well, you know, people don't necessarily may not trust us and we might not trust them because all we see, and Chris has bought into a lot more NFTs of half of them are worthless, you know, rug pulls, scams, etc. And so they're like, well, so we were like, well, we don't want to honor a project that's scammy, you know, and they might not want to honor us because we're not launched yet, and you know, maybe they think we are. So it's been a very fine line collaboration strategy, but at the same time, it's just grasping the concept of our project, right? Like it's like, let's build a Hall of Fame, you know, and it's going to include great projects, you know.
And I think the next phase, because we are about 3.5 weeks from mint, is to kind of take these collaborations and continue down that path and then really start to give back to our own community that we're developing through a few giveaways. And we have our whitelist giveaway, which is really exciting, and there's all over the town. I put it in the link down below, you know, this thing that people do. And, you know, we also have, now we're going to probably do a few of our custom Blockchain of Fame NFTs, and we're going to give those away. And then we're going to find a few influencers that we actually realize are nice and work with you and have reasonable prices and use them to promote these giveaways. And I think that's the strategy that works. We're going to continue pushing our social media. You know, I do a TikTok a day. We're doing the YouTube documentary series. We're posting on Twitter, Instagram. We are making sure that our website is updated. We are making sure that our Discord is active and that we are doing AMAs and all sorts of things to get the word out there about the project. But I think at the end of the day, we have to question, is it going to be enough? Because if you have this infinite budget or this celebrity connection or this really amazing artist that has this great history with a big company like Disney, or they animated a Pixar movie, those projects are the ones that get pushed to the forefront, but they don't usually have the staying power and they don't usually have the substance, where we're building something from the ground floor, block by block, and we are just going to continue to do that and push that and not shove it down people's throats, but make them aware of this is really something special and they should want to be part of it. And you commenting on this video or liking this video or sharing this video or jumping in our Discord and saying what's up or retweeting, all of that helps us. So if you are appreciative of our journey and the things we're bringing to you, please feel free to support us in that way, even if you have no intention of minting. Like, we're still building a community. You know, we still want to get the Blockchain of Fame out there, and we think we're going to continue to do that. So we have learned a lot from our mistakes. It has been,
I wanted to say that's what's super important. Like, and Chris especially can get hard on himself when it's like, okay, well, we just spent $100 for this pin post or whatever. It got us nowhere. Sure, that's true, right? But in the end, I think what we've done is saying, are we growing every day a little bit, right? And if we are, and we are, right? We started from 0, and now we have, you know, close to 600 Discord members. We have a lot of, you know, people now in our community that are close and active and chatting. We have Twitter followers run from 0, 250. We're going to hit 300 soon. And while that seems still a little small, it's not 10,000 followers. It is pure growth every time. So you get a few failed promos, but then you get some good promos at the same time. So I think, like, if you're doing a project when the promos aren't going so well, just ask yourself every few days, do we grow a little bit more? You know, and I think that's kind of what kept us moving so far, right? Yeah, like, we know we're getting in the direction, you know, as Chris said, block by block.
Yeah, and we're in that phase now that it's really super duper crunch time. 3 weeks out is not enough time. It never would be enough time, even if we had 3 months or 3 years or 300 years, because, you know, it's not once you mint, it stops. It's once you mint, you have to just keep grinding and keep at it and keep reinvesting and keep providing utility and value to your investors. And that's what we're all about. So we're going to continue to promote our community, our project, our art, the two of ourselves, you know, and we're going to keep bringing you really the best that we have to offer. And anything that you can do to help us is a form of promo. So we're imploring you to do that. And I think we're a little bit over the 10-minute mark. So I'm probably getting the director's cut at this point.
No, but at least it just, the project doesn't end at launch. I can't stress that enough. We can't stress in all our videos. You know, we're not piecing out at launch, right? Like that's like, we've seen that in projects. The project kind of just starts in a new direction at launch,
it's like
right?
a phase,
like for sure.
Like phase 1.5, and then when we meet all our goals, it's phase 2, and that's gonna allow us to really do what we want to do once we get a little bit more funding to really give it that actual promotional push that we believe will take it to that next level. I'm going to tell you one last time, follow us on all our socials, head by our Discord, the links are always down below, and you're more than welcome to try to whitelist and win. We have a giveaway. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, and
we still have spots for whitelist.
Yeah, we're getting filled up more and more each day, and so you don't want to miss out. And you know, thanks for your support, and we'll say goodbye. Check out our next episode, which we're going to film right now, but you're not supposed to know that. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.